Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Monica and today we're doing a chatty get ready with me full of life updates. If you've checked out my community tab recently or if you follow me on Instagram, you'll actually know that the biggest life update is that Alvin and I are now engaged. It's nice to actually have despite how crazy 2020 through now has been, it's nice to have some genuinely good news to be happy about. So we posted the announcement after we let all of our friends and family know. We posted it to Instagram and to my community tab, and you guys had quite a lot of questions, so I thought we could do a chat to get ready with me. I'll do my makeup, and we can go through those questions. Before I start doing my makeup, I'm going to go ahead and just talk about the first few products I'm going to be using, because when I get into this chatty get ready with me, I sometimes forget to talk about the products. So real quick, for primer, I've got the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer I'm going to be using. For foundation, I've been testing out, I gotta twist it, the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth. I tried this out a few years ago and I didn't really like it, but my skin has changed a little bit and things have been a bit different, especially now that I work primarily from home. So I wanted to pick this up again and try it out, and I have shade 102 Porcelain. I'll be using the Laura Mercier for my loose powder. I have the AOA Studio Perfect powder for my pressed powder. My under eye corrector is the Charlotte Tilbury, which is in my new edition of the Petty Project Pan, which if you missed that introduction, I'll throw that up in the cards. And then for primer, I'm using the Dermacol Makeup Cover. This isn't part of my Petty Project Pan, because I was pretty sure I was going to finish it no matter what, so I'm just this is a side project, but I'm using this as eye primer every day, and I'm hoping to finish this up soon. It's almost there. So as I put my primer on, let's go ahead and jump into the first few questions. So you guys had a lot of great questions in my community tab. I'm gonna try and go in the order that makes sense. So some people asked, where did you meet Alvin? Who asked who out? How long have you been together? And then we'll get into the wedding stuff later. Okay, so how did you guys meet? We met a few years ago. We actually met on Tinder. I think, how old was I? We've been together for 4 years. I was 25, I think. 24, 25. But we met on Tinder, and actually that was back when his work schedule was so busy. He was working 12-hour days, 6 days a week. So we actually didn't get to hang out in person for a long time. So we were kind of resigned to the fact that we were just going to be friends, and we had a lot in common. We really liked talking to each other. We liked getting to hang out on video chat or on the phone, because we really couldn't meet in person just because his work schedule was insane. But after a year, his work schedule kind of got a little bit better. Actually, he was in a bad motorcycle accident, so we had to take time off to recover. And then after that, he was actually able to go to work for regular working hours, kind of an 8 to 5 instead. And then we got to hang out and we started dating. Now, did we tell our older family members that? Absolutely not. We did. So if older family members ask or watch this, we told them we met through coworkers a while ago. So who asked whom out? Well, we matched on Tinder. He had pictures of him and pictures of Rex as well, which did bring me in, I have to admit. But I really wish I still had those older pictures, because we looked so much differently. We looked really young. I don't know why 4 years makes that big of a difference, but we looked like babies. But they were really cute. So I think for the actual first date, we decided together, our first date ever was to Chipotle. We did Chipotle, and then we went to go see a movie. And the movie was The Circle. I think that's what it's called. I had actually just read the book, and I loved the book. And Alvin was like, well, that'd be great. They just came out with the movie version. Why don't we go see the movie? Because you loved the book so much. And I was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, let's totally do that. We see the movie, and it was trash. It was a bad movie. It was just a bad script. They didn't adapt the book well. The actors, they were great actors. It was oh my god, I'll throw up the cast here. They had an all-star cast, but the script was just terrible. And overall, it was just a meh movie. I feel like everyone's forgotten about it by now, but I felt so bad because I was like, oh my god, did I ruin our first date because I picked a shitty movie to go see? But no. So the next question, how long have we been together? I kind of answered that. Our anniversary is in October. We got together, was it 2017? We just had our 4th year anniversary. So I think we met in 2016, started dating in 2017, and so we were together for 4 years. Because our 4-year anniversary was in October, and then he proposed in December. And it was a huge surprise. I thought, because we of course we talked about this. Don't get engaged or propose unless you've had time to actually discuss things. We've been discussing in detail what we expect, what we want out of this. And that's actually a big reason why we finally moved in together, because both of us knew we wanted to live together before we got engaged. So we knew we wanted to live together. Can you focus on my face? But we knew we wanted to live together for at least a year before we got engaged, which is also part of the reason why he surprised me so much with the proposal, because I didn't think technically a year would have been in January. So we had discussed about it and we were like, okay, well, he'll propose probably sometime after the new year, in between like January and March. So I wasn't expecting it, which is exactly what he wanted, because then it was a complete surprise. So we've known each other for 5 years, been dating for 4 years, and we just got engaged. Which I think, sidebar, I don't want to judge anyone else on their timelines, but like I see people getting engaged after like a year or two of dating, and I'm like, how? I mean, if it works out for you, fantastic. But I'm just really grateful that Alvin and I like aligned on that we wanted to date for a while and live together before we took those next steps. So the next question, of course, we got quite a few questions about the ring. So a lot of the questions were asking about the stone and the ring itself. Someone asked, I also have a unique stone in my engagement ring. Was that something you always knew you wanted? Did you help pick it out, or was Alvin on his own? And then someone else said, what stone is it specifically, and how did you feel about doing a unique engagement ring? So personally, I always knew, like ever since I was younger, I never pictured having an actual diamond. I did not want a big diamond ring. That just wasn't, A, it wasn't my aesthetic or style, and B, I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan. So I knew I was going to get something other than a diamond, but it wasn't until like this year that I started thinking about, what I would actually like to see. And that's when I started looking for essentially anything with a black stone. I wasn't really picky about the stone itself, but I knew I wanted something either like black, gray, or like salt and pepper. And Alvin wasn't totally on his own. I did kind of start doing research, and I made a Pinterest board. I'll throw a picture of it right here, just essentially grabbing pictures from the internet, different stone ideas, different everything. And the ring we ultimately ended up with was one of the rings on my Pinterest board. So it's a little tough to show on camera here, but this is the ring. Also go ahead and throw up some photos here from the actual website so you can get a better idea of what it is. The stone itself is actually a spinel. It's a black spinel, and it is surrounded by little diamonds, and they're all lab-grown diamonds. I saw this ring on the website and I loved everything about it. I loved that it was like a square. It's technically, I think it's a cushion cut, but it's the way that it's kind of laid out. It's sort of like a diamond, but then it's like the big black stone and it's surrounded by a bunch of the little diamonds, which I'm fine with diamonds like that. And I was also really happy that they're lab grown diamonds, so I don't have to worry about, blood diamonds and anything, but they're all lab grown. And to me, this is like a reasonable size, because this is actually a mini version of the ring. I have really small hands, so like on me it looks like a regular sized ring. This is the mini version of the ring. They actually have a much bigger version of this ring, which would have made my hand look ridiculous. So I think that's everything. The stone is black spinel, which if you've never heard of a spinel, which I didn't really know about until this year, spinel is very similar to like sapphires and rubies, to the point where like throughout history, spinels, and they grow naturally in these colors. They grow naturally like in black and blue and red. They have been mistaken for rubies and sapphires like throughout history. Like some of the crown jewels aren't actually sapphires or rubies, they're actually spinels. But you can't tell until you look at them like molecularly, on a molecular level. There you go. So yeah, so Alvin wasn't totally on his own. We worked together. I had that Pinterest board. We got inspiration. I didn't know it was going to be a black ring until this year. I was really looking at like salt and pepper diamonds, but I don't know, even black diamonds to me, like they didn't look kind of how I wanted them to look. Like looking at this, like the spinal pictures online was like perfect, exactly what I wanted. And this ring itself was also perfect, like price wise. Like I didn't want to get something like incredibly cheap, because this is something I am going to be wearing every day for the foreseeable future. But I also didn't want to spend, like that stupid rule, quote unquote, where it's like you should spend 3 months salary on it. No, we did not do that. This altogether, it was, I'd say around 1 month salary for us. But as someone who really doesn't wear that much jewelry, like I love my Ana Luisa pieces and I like wearing like necklaces. I don't really wear earrings as much anymore, but it's a lot for me to be wearing like on a daily basis now. So I had to do some research, because I don't wear jewelry like every day. So I had to figure out like, okay, what can I do while wearing this? What should I not do while wearing this? How do I take care of it? All that fun stuff. And I'm gonna get powder everywhere. So someone asked, how did he pop the question? And to me, it was perfect. It was beautiful. So it was right before Christmas, and we had decided, because both of our birthdays are like right before Christmas, like his birthday is literally the 18th and mine is the 22nd. We decided to celebrate both of our birthdays. We would combine them and just go out to eat at our favorite restaurant. And our favorite restaurant, it's kind of like a higher end like sports bar, kind of like half of it is like fancy restaurant with like nice seating and mood lighting and everything, and then half of it is like sports bar where you've got like sports like high top tables and a bar, you know, all that stuff. So he told me later that he actually originally wanted to propose like at the restaurant because it's our favorite restaurant and we love going there, but we were seated in the sports bar section. So he's like, I'm not going to propose there. And so he seemed a bit off during the dinner, and he seemed like in a rush to like finish and leave. And at the time I was like, I have no idea why he's doing this. I don't know. I just want to enjoy the night. Totally oblivious to the fact that he was nervous because he had to like come up with a new plan to essentially propose. So we had a nice dinner. We get our bags to go because we couldn't finish. They give you like big plates of food. So we didn't finish. We get in our car, we head home, and he decides to like race. He's like, I gotta go inside real quick and get something. Let me go in first. So he runs upstairs. I take my time. I lock up. And I take off, like, I've got layers on because it was freezing outside. So I'm taking off my shoes, I'm taking off my coat and everything. And by the time I come upstairs and get into the living room, all I hear is Alvin say, go to your mom. And I look down, and Rex comes hopping on over, cute little corgi he is, and he's got the ring box on his collar. And it was like a commercial. I kept saying it was like a beautiful like commercial happening in real life, and I loved it. And then he got on one knee and asked if I would marry him, and I said yes, and I cried a lot. A lot. But it was perfect. Like, I'm tearing up now just like thinking about it. Stop it. Can't cry with the makeup on. So yes, everything about it was perfect. And then since he proposed like right before Christmas, we got to tell all of our family and all of our friends as like a Christmas gift for them that we got engaged. Since we're ready to move on to the next stages of makeup, let me go ahead and say what I'm using. For contour, I've got the Burberry Dark Earthy Blush in number 11. This is also in my Petty Project pan, and this is the amount of pan that I have left. Using that for my contour. For my bronzer, I've got the Kylie bronzer in the shade Khaki. Khaki. Can I open it? Who knows? There we go. Finally got it open. This is what it looks like. And then for highlighter, I'm using another product from my Petty Project pan. This is the Dior highlighter, and it's totally broken off. And this is the pan that we have currently. And then for blush, I've got this BH Cosmetics and Doja Cat blush palette, and I think I'm just going to go in with the middle kind of neutral-ish salmon-y kind of shade. So I think those are all the questions about like the ring and our relationship and the proposal. A few people asked about the wedding. Now, we're in a bit of a, I guess, holding pattern, you could say, for the wedding. We don't have a date picked out, which I was shocked by how many friends and family members expected us to have a date picked out when, like, I mean, with COVID, everything is up in the air. You know, everyone's had weddings delayed for the past 2 years, and now some of them can actually happen. And, like, wedding prices have, like, tripled, and it's kind of crazy. But on top of that, Alvin and I really don't want to do anything big. Like, to be frank, like, we would be very happy with, like, just a courthouse wedding and, like, a nice dinner at a restaurant. So that was some of the next questions that we're getting. So some people asked, are you going to have a traditional wedding or something different? What are you planning to do for the wedding? To be frank, like in my dream, and that was actually another question, was if money was no object, what would your dream wedding be? My dream wedding would be like Sophia Nygaard's wedding. Like they did like this really cool, like celestial, like black kind of wedding. That's kind of my dream wedding. If money was no object, we would do something like that. Ideally and realistically, I would do something small. Like I would want a small ceremony where really it's like just us and maybe like the 2 witnesses or whatever needed at like the courthouse. We'll go to Newark, we'll go to the courthouse. And then after, my dream would be just to have a big reception. A big reception with like a buffet style kind of food situation so that both our families could come and just kind of party and do their thing. Because we are both the firstborn of our families, and we are both the firstborn from huge families. She has a big Korean family. I have a big Puerto Rican family. So trying to wrangle all those people and like make it so nobody feels left out, it's going to be huge. Honestly, I'm kind of dreading it. I don't really want to have like the wedding. I really just want to have like a cute little ceremony, maybe do like an engagement party. Like I could see like an engagement party being something we could do that's a little bit bigger, but then throw in COVID in the mix. Yeah, you know, I don't really want to travel. I don't really want to put anybody at risk. So yeah, I don't know. Realistically, I have no idea what's going to happen. Ideally, with our budget and everything, I would say a tiny itty bitty ceremony and then a reception for anyone who can make it. And Alvin feels the same way. He kept telling me, he's like, you know, we could just go down to the courthouse, and he doesn't even want to have like a reception. He's just fine with whatever we want to do. And we don't want to spend a lot of money. Like we've been saving up money. We've been living together. We really want to get a house, which realistically, like right now, the housing market is still bananas because of COVID, because of the lack of building, and because of everyone and their mother trying to buy a bigger space. So thankfully, we've got this apartment. This apartment might be a little small, but honestly, it's bigger than a lot of apartments in the area, and it's fine for what we need right now. Like we've got a big bedroom / office. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. We use the 1 bedroom as my office and my filming space, so that's where I am right now. The big living room area is like half bedroom, half living room. So really, we have everything that we need for right now. So we're not in like a huge rush to immediately buy a house. Like actually, Alvin's parents were trying to push us to buy a house this year, and we're like, no, have you seen the prices? Like it's kind of crazy. And they even offered to buy us a house, but I don't want my in-laws to be my landlords. We're not doing that. So yeah, we don't mind waiting for, you know, a great starter home to become available. And thankfully, you know, Alvin is super handy. He does a lot of like blue collar work. He does plumbing, he does building, he does a little bit of everything, metal work. So we can get a house that's a little bit of a fixer-upper. And so, because we will have the ability to do some basic repairs, I can do like the interior decorating kind of stuff. Like I love painting. I love doing little like DIYs here and there. And then if there's anything more structural, Alvin can definitely help. I can definitely help. And we would have like the time and money to do so, especially because we're not planning to have kids. Okay, I think that was the last like marriage / wedding related question. Thank you guys for all of the like good wishes and congratulations. Honestly, I'm not gonna say I cried again, but I did cry again just reading all the lovely notes and comments you guys left. It's been amazing having this channel and getting to share such great news with you guys, and I'm just really happy to have you here. So thank you, everyone. So I still have some other life updates, and I did get 1 or 2 questions that weren't related to it. So let me go ahead and do my brows and prime my eyes off camera because that's a little bit boring. And then we'll come back. I'll answer those other questions and we'll do my eyeshadow. All right, and we are back. I did a little bit of setting spray, just a little bit of the Milani Make It Last spray and the MAC Fix Plus. I then did my eyebrows. I just recently went in and like retweezed them and reshaped them, and I'm actually really happy with how they turned out. So I did my eyebrows, I primed my eyes, I just used the Dermacol makeup cover, and then I set it using the light shade in my Naked 2 palette. This one all the way over here. And there is, oh, I just hit pan. Oh, I didn't even notice until I looked at it. I just hit pan. That is exciting, little baby pan. I'll post that on Instagram right after I finish filming this. But I did previously hit pan in the shade Booty Call right here. So this is one of my Pan Nose palettes for this year. I also got the other one, the ColourPop. I was going to do kind of a warm look here, but I've really been missing green shadows. And I did just get some palettes from Shop Miss A. I did do a full Shop Miss A haul, so if you missed that, I'll throw it up in the cards. But these 2 green palettes have just been calling to me, and I think I really want to do a green look. So this is the Flower Child palette, and this is Herb Garden. And there are these 2 green mattes in here that I really want to dig into and try. And then this is the quad from the Fairy Garden line, and this is in Willow. And this one swatched amazing. Like, I looked at the swatches and I was like, I know I have to do something. This one is more teal, but I'm thinking about using like these 3 shades. So I think I'm going to do a green look today instead. I also got a bunch of these XL long-lasting shadow sticks from Shop Miss A. And I really want to I'm going to try them as a liner for my waterline. So I've got this like really light beige, almost kind of yellow color that I want to use just in my waterline. I think it'll look cool with a green shadow look. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first light matte shade in this palette and just start building that up. So let's see. Oh, the last question that I had actually from the community tab. Let me pull it up. All right, so someone commented, would like to know about your wardrobe and your reason you wear black on most of your videos. Just curiosity and because I also love black. That's like the main reason. Like I personally, I think like the not subculture, but like the aesthetic that like fits me to a T is corporate goth. I saw that on TikTok and I was like, that's me. That's it. I was definitely, like as a teenager, like definitely like the Hot Topic kid, the kid that was into anime, wanted to wear all black, but like I couldn't buy all black clothes because, well, we were actually kind of, I don't want to say poor because we weren't dirt poor, but we did grow up with a lot of kids in the house, and my dad didn't really make that much money. He was single, and then he met my stepmom. Long story short, we didn't have a whole lot of money, so we weren't buying clothes that often, and when we were, they wanted us to look like a happy little family, so they wouldn't let me buy black clothes. So yeah, that's the main reason why, is because now I can actually make my own wardrobe and I can buy the clothes that I want, which is mainly just black clothing. And also, like, why I wear them in most of my videos is because most of my clothing is black. I'll throw like some pictures up of just like my closet and my wardrobe. I'm not 100% happy with my full wardrobe. Like, there are some other like pieces that I want to get, like some more work appropriate kind of attire, and then a few I'm thinking like some more new dresses and stuff, but like ultimately I'm slowly kind of building up to the wardrobe that I want, and most of it is black. When I do laundry, it's like a giant pile of black clothing. And the reason I wear black in my videos is because this is just what I wear every day, and I like it. Sometimes you'll see pops of color, like I've got some nice blouses for work that are, I got like some blue, I've got some bright colors there, but it's mostly with a black cardigan. So that was the last question from my community tab post. Let me see, what other life updates do I have? Let's talk about work. Work has been going really well for me. It's been a bit busy, a bit busier than I thought it would, especially since I kind of worked through the holidays. Last year, because of COVID, actually, the whole company got a whole extra week off, paid time off, and that was in between Christmas and New Year's, which was perfect because I used all of that time to pack for the move, because we moved New Year's Day last year. So having that time to just pack and get ready and like prepare was amazing. But this year, and what I normally do during the holidays, a lot of people use their paid time off during the holidays, but to be frank, for the most part, it's kind of dead in between, like, well, really the last like 2 or 3 weeks of December. It's pretty dead. So you really don't have to use your paid time off because there really isn't like too much to do. Like, I'll still try to get like other stuff done, but I don't have to constantly keep up with meetings or emails and stuff because everyone else is out of the office. So I worked those last 2 weeks, but it was definitely not as like busy as it normally would be. And I finally had time. Like, there are some projects and like things that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I just legitimately have not had the time to do because it's been so busy and there's always been like new things to do. So I literally was so productive during the last week of December. It was kind of insane. And I laugh and I joke now that I jinxed myself because I was so productive that my computer was like, you know what, you're being too productive. Because last week, my work laptop, which has been giving me issues for at least a year now, a little bit over a year, probably closer to a year and a half, it finally died on me. This is looking very pretty so far. I gotta build up the color a little bit, but I like it. So I think now I'm gonna go into this shade. So yes, it was a Friday. My computer was very slow to like start in the morning, which it normally is, you know, to be frank. Like my computer, it normally takes like half an hour for it to get like open and booted and like working enough for me to actually get anything done. So normally I would come in here in like half an hour before I have to start working. I'll turn my computer on, I'll turn it on, I'll restart it because I had to like turn it on, let it boot for a little bit, and then restart it, and then log back in and let it boot again, and that was the only way I could really use my laptop. There are so many like workarounds I had to use because this laptop was kind of trash. But since it was still technically functioning, I couldn't really do anything. And because we're all working from home now, I didn't have an office I could go into. Like previously when I worked in the office, we had a whole tech department that I could just walk downstairs and be like, can you help fix my laptop? And they would do it. But like now, you can't. So Friday, I had a couple meetings in the morning. I was getting some stuff done, and I basically made a list of all the stuff I had to get done in the afternoon because I had quite a few things I had to do. And then in the afternoon, my computer just like was so slow. It was like, it took me 10 minutes to copy and paste something. That's how slow it was. So at that point, I was like, there is something wrong. We have to like try to figure out how to do this. So I was trying to troubleshoot. I was trying to run the system support software. I'm going to start going with the darkest green matte now. But as we tried troubleshooting, Alvin even came in to help me because he's off on Fridays. So he was home. And when he woke up, he was coming in here trying to help me. And I'm stressing out. Like, I'm someone who I need to be productive. If something that is out of my control is preventing me from being productive, I get so upset. Like, it's ridiculous how upset I was. Just because, like, my laptop was finally on its last legs. Thankfully, I have my boss's cell phone number, so I was texting her and sending her pictures and saying, like, it's finally, like, dying. Previously, whenever my computer was having really bad issues, I would just kind of turn it off and leave it for the weekend. And then when I come back on Monday, it would kind of be working at least a little bit better, to the point where I could at least get some work done. That did not happen this time. This is looking so pretty. I like these shades a lot. They work really well together. So what do I want to use on my lid? Ooh, that's pretty. That's kind of blue. Yeah, this one's like a teal. I'm going to go in with this dark green like shimmer, and I've got a glitter glue that I love using, so I'm going to use that with the NYX glitter glue. So yeah, so I let my boss know. I was like, you know what, I think it's finally dying, but let's try it on Monday. So Monday comes, the computer is like, if possible, it's worse. I can't do anything. I had this long list of things I had to get done, and I'm not good at like under pressure, not being able to do something that's out of my control. So I was kind of freaking out about it. Very first world problem-y, but I like couldn't do my job. Like, I legitimately like was kind of stuck. So I called my manager. She submitted a help ticket for me, and I don't know what strings she had to pull or who she had to escalate it to, but they shipped me out a new laptop Monday afternoon. They overnighted it, so it got to me Tuesday night. It was like 7 o'clock at night is when I got my new laptop. But for Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, I could not work. So I got so behind. Like, that's when everyone was back in the office. There were emails, there were meetings that I missed. It was a hot mess is what it was. So I got my new laptop Tuesday night. I spent like Tuesday night until like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, plugging it in, setting it up, installing everything, getting it ready for me to actually work on Wednesday. And then Wednesday came, and I am playing catch up to the highest degree. So Wednesday comes, I'm finally playing catch up. I've got like half a day of meetings, but then I'm still trying to like catch up on everything that I couldn't do the last 3 days. So it was honestly just a stressful mess. Wednesday was playing catch up. Thursday was a mess because I had like almost meetings all day on Thursday. But then I was finally able to sort of kind of catch up on things. And then Friday I only had one meeting. So I spent just most of Friday catching up on the remaining stuff that I have left. But honestly, like the whole week, I was just so stressed. I was so stressed. I was freaking out. I was falling behind in work, and it's the worst. Like when you're ready to do something, you're trying to do something, but because of technical issues or because of XYZ, you can't, and it's outside of your control. Like, that's like the worst to me. Okay, so this shimmer was a bit rough to go on. I don't know if I like how it's not really blending up here. See if it'll go on with a finger a little bit better. Yeah, the shade is just not, like, you can see like the crisp end of the glitter glue, but like with a lot of shimmer shades, I can like bring it back in and like blend it out so it looks a little bit more seamless, but this shade, it's not really doing that. Okay, I'm gonna move on and do the other eye. So anyway, so I was just really stressed and freaking out, and then the weekend finally came, and I'm trying to actually like relax during the weekend. Thankfully, Monday's a holiday, so it's actually a 3-day weekend, which I feel like I really needed it at this point. So today's Sunday. I'm filming this. I also have tomorrow off. And yesterday, Alvin actually sat me down. He's like, you need to actually like relax today. Because I'm one of those people where like even on my days off, I need to be productive. I need to be doing YouTube prep work. I need to be cleaning around the house. I need to be doing something. I can't just sit and relax. I just can't. But yesterday I did. I didn't do anything like super productive. Like I cleaned the kitchen a little bit, but really I spent like most of the day just in bed, and it was really nice. It was really nice, honestly. So I'll definitely still have a lot to do next week or on Tuesday once we're all back in the office, quote unquote. But I'm just trying to take it one day at a time and not stress out too much, because I am someone who will stress out, obviously, too much about certain things. But that's something I need to work on in 2022, is actually like taking time to relax for myself. Yeah, I don't like how this shimmer works with the edge of that glitter glue at all. But what I want to work on in 2022 is actually taking time for self-care and to relax. Because I think, I don't know, the way that I view time off and rest, I feel like I'm being like lazy if I don't use all the time available to me to be doing something productive. Like if without productivity, what am I? I don't know. So I need to work on that. If you guys have any suggestions or tips for resources I could look into, maybe like some nice books or anything, leave them in the comments below, because I am someone who is not great at chilling. Yeah, I really actually, like, the more I do this, the more I'm hating that shimmer. It just looks terrible. Okay, not a fan of that. I'm wondering, how do I fix this? You know what? I think I'm gonna slap a chromium liquid shadow on top and see if I can fix it, because I really don't like that. And I have to film another video after this. All right, it looks a lot better. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Buddy. Okay, so the chromium liquid shadow helped. It doesn't look like 100% perfect, but it's covered up. You see, like, the chromium shadow, it like blends in kind of into the crease, as opposed to it being like that really sharp, weird line. I don't know if it's coming across that nice on camera, but that's normally what I can get using this glitter glue with another kind of shimmer shadow, even if it's powder. So I don't know, I'll have to test this out again without a glitter glue, but also it looks like I kind of hit hard pan in it. Can you see that? So not a fan of that. I love the matte. I love the mattes. The mattes blended out like beautifully. Definitely would use those. Not sure how I feel about that shimmer. So I'll have to keep testing it. Let me go ahead. I'm going to do my lower lash line, throw some eyeliner on, and then do mascara. So here is the final look. Overall, I'm really happy with how those mattes look. I was able to save the look, I think. But yeah, not too shabby if I do say so myself. So thank you guys so much for watching. If there's any other questions that you have, let me know down below. I'm always happy to answer them. Thank you guys for being a subscriber, for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.